So hello everyone. First of all, thank you very much for kind introduction. Secondly, let's talk about something a little bit different about air emissions monitoring regulation in Slovak Republic. As you will see, it is a rather detailed framework that not only specifies how emissions from air pollution sources should be monitored, but also who is authorized to carry out this monitoring. Of course, I don't want to overwhelm you with too many details, nor do I have time to cover everything. So instead, I will start with a brief overview of different fields of emission monitoring requirements. Then I'll take a closer look at the few selected ones, and I will finish this part what I see as our real challenge if the Commission plans become reality. In the second part of my presentation, I will focus on the requirements for automated measurement systems and the related challenge. All the requirements I'm going to talk about are taken from these key pieces of legislation. So the most important one is the Air Protection Act, which outlines the basic requirements for air protection. Specific details about regarding emission monitoring are set in Decree 249, while Decree 299 covers authorized technical activities, essentially who, how, and under which circumstances can carry out measurement. In Slovakia, when we talk about emission monitoring, we use the term authorized technical activities, or ATA for short. By ATA, we mean discontinuous measurements that are further divided into specific categories that are based on their purpose, as well as calibrations, tests, and conformity inspections of AMS. The purpose of ATA is to demonstrate compliance with the requirements for AMS or demonstrate compliance with permissible levels of air pollution. And of course, all results are officially reported to the air protection authorities. That's why in Slovakia, the legislation provides very detailed requirements for authorized technical activities. What is important to realize in the beginning is that our national requirements supplement the accreditation requirements. However, since technical standards often do not provide details, which we consider crucial for obtaining reliable data, our decrees provide them and much more. Next, let's explore the main fields of requirements covered in said decrees. We can divide our requirements into 5 main fields. First, personal requirements. We'll take a closer look at those related to authorized and a responsible person in a minute. Second, there are requirements for technical devices, such as specifying calibration intervals. The third field is documentation of emission measurement techniques. This includes the detection limit, range of measurement, as well as the measurement uncertainty, which I will talk about later. The fourth field is measurement conditions. I will briefly cover regimes and the number of measurements later, but I will skip the detailed management of particular measurements on various technologies. However, I have included one example on this slide. Finally, there are specific requirements for reporting ATA results. The report must include all information required by the standard 17025, of course, and as well as additional legislative requirements. For instance, the report must clearly state whether the measurement results comply with the emission limits or not. As I promised, I will now introduce in closer detail the specific requirements regarding the aforementioned fields. First, let's define who qualifies as authorized person. There are 2 possibilities: an entity who does this regularly as part of their business, or an entity who has been granted a permit for a single measurement in specific cases when certain conditions are met. In practice, authorized persons are often companies or teams specialized in emission measurement, sometimes referred to as emission measurement groups. Now, to quantify as an authorized person, there are 4 main requirements. I won't go into detail about all of them. I just want to highlight a couple of key points. The usual certificates of accreditations are, of course, required. However, Slovak legislation adds an additional requirement, an authorized person must have a certificate confirming compliance with legislative obligations. The final requirements, acquiring responsible person. I will explain who that is in the next slide. After fulfilling all these stipulated requirements to become an authorized person, to actually carry out authorized technical activities, an authorized person still needs to meet further legislative requirements. The most crucial, you can see on this slide, is to carry out each individual ATA in accordance with applicable technical standards, legislation requirements, and also the permit of the specific air pollution source. And now let's talk a little bit about the responsible person. The responsible person ensures the quality, reliability, and legal validity of every authorized technical activity, meaning that no ATA can be carried out without this person. To become a responsible person, you have to have right type of education, gain experience, conduct all relevant types of ATA, and finally pass both written and oral exam covering legislation and also the theory of emission monitoring administered by the ministry. The title of responsible person is not a formal one. He or she bears the full technical responsibility for everything related